Let me know in the comments, what is the biggest threat to your wallet or your purse? Unexpected expenses, y'all. That be the worst. So in this video, I want to talk about 2 ways to tackle unexpected expenses. Let's get into it. You'll have to let me know in the comments, what is the most expensive unexpected expense that you had. Y'all, I know this one time I had to get an HVAC unit that was unexpected, and I'm just like, oh man, that was a couple of thousand. But here recently, y'all, I had got a bill in the mail from the eye doctor, and that was back in July. And I'm like, where is this coming from? So I'm gonna have to call the insurance company. Then I'm gonna have to call the eye doctor and see what's going on. But I want to talk about how we can tackle this. Now, I would say, one, you can put it on a credit card, and then two, by getting a rainy day fund or a emergency fund. And so, one, I want to talk about, putting on a credit card. And this is why it's very important for us to not abuse our credit. So when things happen, we can possibly use our credit card. Because see, the thing is, if we use a credit card, then you can have a little bit of more time to pay it off. But if you don't have any available balance on your credit card, then that'll be, really tough. So I think that's why it's very important to pay our credit cards off every month. And then that way, if we really, really need to use it, then we can. So let's say for me, let's say if I have to pay this bill, even though I feel like my insurance is going to pay it because I'm going to call them, what I can do, I'm going to use a credit card that I haven't used in a while. Because like my Chase IHG, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use this credit card more so that I can get some points, because I'm trying to do a trip to DC, and I did some transfer points over, but I want to accumulate a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, if I have to end up paying it, I'm going to put it on this credit card. That way I can get a couple of more points. And so, I think that'll be okay, but I'll pay it off when it comes. But like right now, since I haven't been using that credit card, I won't have to pay that off until February. And so that'll give you a little bit longer of a time. Let's say if you don't have the money right off the hand, or if you don't have an emergency fund, it'll give you a little bit more time to where you don't have to pay interest on it, and it doesn't have to worry you, because really all kind of things can happen. Let's say if your car break down, you get a flat tire or stuff like that. And so you really want to have available balance on your credit cards to be able to do it if you don't have an emergency fund. And so the second thing I'm going to say have an emergency fund. I think it's very important, and you really have to start where you can. And so I know for 2024, for the second half of the year, we did a 26-week challenge to where we were saving $5,000 within 26 weeks. Now, y'all, I did not save the whole $5,000 myself, because I don't know what it is about the end of the year, the fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter, I guess since we have holidays and stuff around that time, but I just didn't save as much. And so I did save about half. And so when things come up, it's not such a financial burden if you have a rainy day fund or an emergency fund. So I think that that's always good to have, the rainy day fund. And you really have to start where you can. So first, I was on Google, and Google was saying that, while most people do have save about $8,000, only 45% of people have enough money saved to where, let's say if a $400 emergency came up, so then that means that 55% of people don't have, enough if a $400 emergency came up. The first thing we should do is do our budget to see how much money we have coming in compared to going out. And then if you have any credit card debt, how much credit card debt do you have? So, for the extra, you can pay off the credit card debt. But then next, if you don't have any credit card debt, then it lets you know, well, how much can I save every month? To me, I think everybody is different. So some people, to have enough save, for a rainy day, let's say $400 or $1,000, then you have to determine that. And then let's say some people want to have, do I want to have a month of my income saved, 3 to 6 months of my income saved, or maybe even a year? But the thing is, we have to start where we can and then move our way up. But the only way that we're going to be able to do that is by doing our budget first so that we know how much we have left over. And then a third option is, let's say you got a 0% interest credit card. So let's say you got a credit card to where you didn't have to pay interest, let's say for 15 to 21 months. And so the Wells Fargo Reflect and the Citi Diamond credit card have to where for new purchases or balance transfers 21 months, you don't have to pay interest. But the thing is, even with that, you would, if you were getting a new credit card, is your credit good enough for you to be able to get a new credit card so that you can get 0% interest? And, because ultimately it just makes it to where, let's say if you get a flat tire or your car doesn't start or something like that, and you have to pay a couple of $100 to be able to get it fixed. It's like, you don't want it to be a financial burden because it's like already this situation has happened. And then I got to figure out the money. So being able to put it on a credit card or, having the money saved or putting it on a credit card that has 0% interest, it just kind of takes that stress off of it. And so that's why it's good to have a plan to where if, unexpected expenses kind of come up. But the thing is, even with that, you would, if you were getting a new credit card, is your credit good enough for you to be able to get a new credit card so that you can get 0% interest? And so that's why it's very important for us to, one, manage our credit appropriately, but then two, manage our, income that's coming in so we know how much money is coming in compared to going out. And so, I think it's very important to be able to do both of those. But ultimately, we have to start where we can. But let me know in the comments, when unexpected expenses come up, how are you tackling those? But I hope that this video has been helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. It's not a game.